Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, world? This is the Jest podcast 4, and we doing it big. We got our joint ready to go, and I'm back in the spot I was in last week. If you remember from last week's podcast, I found a funny looking fungus that has a flower, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because I'm like, oh, fungus. It just looks like a flower. It must be imitating it for some weird reason. And then a bee came over and pollinated the damn thing, and it just threw me for a loop. I told you I'd catch you guys up next time, and that's what we're here to do. So, let me throw up another picture. Oh, actually, I came back, and all the little plants that I found are still here. And then some. So, alright, let me tell you what I found out before I start getting into any details. So, the Latin name... Actually, I took notes on this, and I left it inside, so I don't have the notes. So I just gotta go off the dome. But we're doing... I remember the 3 main names for it, and that's all I really care about. So, the scientific name for this bitch is Monotropa uniflora. What that means, I don't know. I should have looked that shit up. But it's also known as the ghost flower or the Indian pipe, which is fucking dope because I'm an Indian smoking weed when I found it, and I thought that was hilarious. And it just looks ghostly. It's an eerie plant because it doesn't have chlorophyll in it. That's why it's white. And it's like a symbiotic relationship with a plant and a fungus. And if you look online, it tells you it's a flower, and it is, and that it's a plant. But I don't know. They're telling you that it's uh, parasitizing. Is that the word? That it is taking advantage of the fungus. But I read that on multiple sites, and that just sounds fucking silly. Because we know a lot about fungus, and fungus is what does that to other things. We know it does it to ants and all sorts of weird bugs. It even does it to humans. We know that bacteria is able to control the brain and how it works through the vagal nerve. So, I mean, clearly fungus is probably the one running this relationship. But whatever. That was just my observation. I thought that was fucking funny. Um, it's like this fungus rebellion I'm starting, I guess. Fight for the rights of fungus. Because, like, I don't know. I'm like that. I just call everything fungus, so I'm clearly wrong, and I don't know shit, so don't listen to me. But I call, even though moss is clearly plant-like, I also call moss a fungus. Because it just grows like, and lichen, it just grows like fungus. And it wouldn't be growing without the fungus, whereas a fungus could probably grow without it. Because it has all these natural defenses and chemicals and stuff. Whereas the plant relies on the fungus for all that shit, right? Trees use fungi to communicate like a network. Like, you know, the body's networks. Like, you have your cardiovascular system. You have your immune system. It's like the immune system for the forest, really. So, let's say one tree starts getting chopped down by Paul Bunyan over here. Just a big broad shoulder swinging his fucking heavy wood stick at another wood stick and just taking it down. As soon as that tree starts being attacked, it recognizes it and releases a signal to all the other trees in the area, and they start releasing chemicals that'll prepare it for attack from insects and shit like that. So, like, they're all the plants around you are communicating. That's why you can go in the forest sometimes. Like, if it's really quiet and you're alone, especially like after it's rained or something, like if there's like a gentle breeze and you see everything flowing together, you see how it's really all interlaced. You know, everything's spread out so perfectly to take up all the sunlight, and when the wind blows, they move, and you see like how everything was broken down to create that setup. It's just trippy, especially especially if you take some tripping drugs. If you take some shrooms or some acid or something, and you go in the forest, you will feel the forest breathing, and you will feel like it's watching you. I promise. And it is really like when you step and your foot comes up and it leaves an impression over some moss or the leaves or the dirt in the path or something. There's fungus under your foot, and it's sensing that you stepped there. They really know where the trail is, kinda. Not like in the way a human would, but all the little nodes of the network are communicating, and together they do stuff that shows an understanding that there is a trail there. But you couldn't be able to ask the individual parts, or you wouldn't be able to ask the whole system if there was a trail, but it knows, which is funny. Whoa, this is going off the rails already. Whatever. All right, let's get to it. The ghost pipe. I'm gonna as the plant. Oh, so I wanted to say, as the plant grows, as it matures, maybe they're not sure, but they're pretty sure. Like once it gets pollinated and is maturing, the flowers go from being bent over and they turn around and they point straight upwards. And there's one of these clusters that has done that. So that's interesting. I'm going to try and grab a shot of that for you and show you. Woo! Damn, how long was that? Ooh, a 6-minute rant just to talk about that fucking fungus. That shit's cool, man. It really is, though. That's why I came back here. I told you I was going to try and get a more quiet location to record this week. But, I mean, just being outside is a great setting for it. And then, like, random things like this will happen where I find this fungus, and then I just want to tell you guys about it. So, I think I'm totally going to stick with doing them outside. And if it's rainy or something, then I'll have to do it in a car. Yeah. So that's that. Anyways, what I wanted to get to today, I don't know. All day today, I felt pretty tired. I'm like, it was, I don't want to say it was rough. It's not like it was, I'm not trying to complain here, but I was just fucking tired. You know how that is, especially because it's Monday. But, yeah, it's reminding me a lot of my anxiety and depression because you never really get rid of it. You just get better at it and learn to live with it. Right? And this weekend was kind of rainy, so I didn't get as much sun as I'd like. I smoked more weed than I would have liked. And I didn't really get any exercise. I was trying to go to the gym over the weekend to do swimming and sauna, but I didn't make it. So I got to go during the week. Pushing things off. Don't do it. But luckily, I never will push this podcast off because it's really fun. And actually, that was really great today to have something I'm committed to that I can't pass on. I was thinking about it all day, and then when I got back, it was super sunny. It was a nice drive home. And, it just clicked. It's only been a couple weeks, and this is already a really good habit I've got forming. And it clicked, and I just turned on. And I'm really excited, honestly. I was really tired and throughout the day. I feel like when I was talking to all my friends and at the lunch table conversating, it felt like a little forced, or like I had to actually try to do it and put out conscious effort. And so it was just a little more tiring because I was already tired. So it just feels weird. And when you're anxious and depressed, you'll probably feel like that every day, and it gets worse every day, and it just builds up, and you normalize to it, and it's just a mess. It's hard to notice you're there. It's hard to break out of it. And I don't know what else to say about that, but you gotta learn everything you can about you and explore and be open and willing to admit you're wrong, I guess, and try new things. I don't know. You got to figure out what works for you. So I have a hard time trying to help other people or describe it. But just don't give up and keep working at it, and you will improve. That's for sure. That's something I know, and I definitely can say with confidence. So that's cool. But yeah, also don't want to be smoking too much weed. I know, what is it? Shit, what's it called? I don't know. Stoners can get sick if you smoke all day, every day, and then you don't have access to weed. Or, what is it? You need hot showers. You build up this weird system in your body where if you don't have it, where you get kind of nauseous, and the only way to relieve the symptoms is to smoke more and or to take a hot shower, right? You can just get really sick and nauseous and kind of withdrawal. And it's really interesting to find out about this because everyone says weed doesn't have withdrawal. It's it's compulsive, not addictive, and I totally am lived by that, and it was like that through my experience. But it's a real thing, man. Too much of anything is bad for you, and it makes sense that this does exist because you know they got to find more things wrong with weed, and they're not really allowed to do that because it's Schedule 1. They can't study it. And we just have to be real and admit what is wrong or what might be risky or dangerous about the situation. That way, we don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater and just get rid of all the benefits with it as well. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, whatever. I'm lost with whatever I was saying anyways. I'm done with this rant. Anyways, what happened? Oh, I gotta tell you about my weekend, because I had a really good time. So, I went to 2 comedy shows this weekend because I haven't been a lot lately. I was just trying to fill my whole weekend with comedy, and it was great. So on Friday, I saw Joe List. He was in the area. I saw him in Providence. And then I went to my buddy's house. My buddy actually told me he was in town, and my buddy does comedy as well. So we worked together, and after work, we just hung out and shot the shit until showtime. It was awesome, actually, because like I said, he does some comedy too. I just started recently. I haven't been on stage or nothing, but I've been practicing and writing, trying to get into that shit. And so we were just like riffing off each other, just throwing shit back and forth. And like, I wish I wrote more shit down that we had said. Because I came up with so many bits I really wanted to actually use and develop the idea into something for stage. Because I felt like it was a purposeful joke, you know? We're just talking about funny things. I was like, wow, that's a serious aspect of life, but it's something that's like seriously funny about it because of how fucked it up it is. Oh no, the mosquitoes are coming out. Fuck. Oh, damn. Let me light this bitch up. Fight the bugs with the smoke. I never looked that up. Last week I made a joke about that, fighting the bugs with the smoke and how it's like Pokemon types. And I said, is smoke type ghost type? That's what I would think. But does ghost type fight bug type? I don't think so. I don't see any relation between the two. I should have checked that though. Whatevers. It's just, fucking mosquitoes. Let me light this shit up. Alright. We got our mosquito repellent going. Let me just spray a little more real quick before we go on this next rant. Or continue it, I already started. Yeah, so I wish... Dude, we were just going back and forth non-stop, just shooting shit, making up so many jokes. It was great. I was laughing so hard. And that put me in the perfect mood for the comedy show, too. Oh, that's for sure. I had a great time. Yeah, Joe List was really good. Who opened for him? It was this lady. She seemed pretty famous. I thought I had heard the name before. I can't quite remember. But she was really good. She was really good. Fuck, I wish I could remember her name. Because skinny white blonde lady is not very helpful. I think she might have done something on SNL. I don't remember what they introed. Fuck, I'm the worst. Anyways, great show. The only thing, if I had to say anything, the one thing I noticed was like early on, I don't know, the room was weird too. He came out and right away was like, whoa, this is weird. Was making jokes about it. And it was making me die in the corner because I was like, yeah, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Do they not know who you are? Because I'm like giddy, just gawking at him with this gigantic smile. It's fucking ridiculous. I was so ready to see this dude. And it was amazing. I don't know. I'm just saying that over and over again. Wow, let me shut up. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Joe List, he's got at least a half hour on the Netflix show The Stand-Ups. Everyone has Netflix, so go check that shit out. Who else? And then Friday, I went to go see Paul Verzi, who was awesome because I was listening to the Bill Burr podcast, and he was just like, "Hey man, my friend Paul Verzi, he's gonna be in town. Check him out. He's really good. Plus his opening stuff is much different from his headlining stuff, so you want to check that out and see what that's like." And it was really cool. I think he said he might be ready to do a special or something soon, so that might be coming. He has the Bill Burr Presents special. If you want to go check him out, go check that out. But also, there's a bunch of stuff of him and Bill Burr on YouTube that is easy to find. So you can just go run and watch some of that. He's really cool. Definitely check out Paul Verzi. That show I went to by myself, and it was a new place. That was my first time being at Laugh Boston. And I really like that experience of going to a new place by myself. It's really fun. no one goes to a comedy club by themselves. So it's really funny because like everyone there will like kind of look at you like, huh, like what is this? Is this date late? What's going on? Like, but like all the people working there, like the comics and the bar people who know the comics, like anyone who knows anything about how the comedians are working, they know what you're doing there, and they don't really think much of it. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. Kind of reminds me of how like the comedians who get up on stage, they try so much harder to get the comedians in the back to laugh rather than the audience. Of course, their whole goal is to get the audience to laugh. It's about the room, right? But what's going to verify their jokes more and what they're looking for more intensely to try and work on their shit is they're looking at the faces and the reactions of their friends over in the corner. That's what they're really worried about. And I want to be there. So I guess I'm just bleh. I totally do not mind being at the club by myself. It's so much fun. It really is. And then also, my friend was telling me, the one I went to the show on Friday with, he was like, oh yeah, usually places have 2 drink minimums. And I was like, what? Really? Because I usually don't drink. And I know Nick doesn't have the minimum. So I was like, oh shit. And then I was realizing every time the server comes around, they ask if I want something to drink. And I'm like, oh no, I'm all set. And they look surprised. That's why. I know like most of their money comes from like the alcohol and stuff. So then I was like, shit, now I kind of feel bad I haven't been buying the drinks. But whatever. It's nice and easy when you're one person too, because you can get squeezed in anywhere. Like I thought showed up I thought I was gonna show up early to the Paul Verzi show, but I did not. I got there like 15 before it started. And I was like, oh no, I wanted to sit in the front. And they're like, yes, seat yourself. Just stay away from the reserved signs. And it's like, word. So, of course, I was able to just walk up right to the front. I'm like, I'm on this left side a little bit, but I am 1 or 2 people back from the stage. So Paul Verzi's literally like 10, 15 feet away from me. And it was pretty awesome. I like being that close with them. I really just love watching them interact with the crowd. Because you'll see the different comedians make eye contact differently, just everything differently. Of course, the way they speak, their intonation, tone, and whatnot. Wow. That was the stupidest thing I've ever said. Anyways. Oh, God. That's the Monday shit for you. My brain's not working. I feel a little slow and stupid today. That's okay. We doing it. What the fuck was I talking about? There you go. I don't know. Awesome show. I was super close to the stage, and I had an awesome time. And he just seems like a cool dude on stage. Like, he just seems like someone you want to smoke a joint with or something. And I like that about comics. They're always just so real and relatable, and it feels like you could just hang out with them. Like any of them. Any of the good ones, I feel like. And then after the show, so my friend had a barbecue, and I told him I was going to go. But then I forgot I had the comedy show Saturday, so I just went to my show because I was not going to pass Paul Laverzi for nothing. So then I hit up my friends afterwards to see if they're still hanging out. And they were. So I was like, sweet, I'll just stop on by after my show. And that's why, like, I went to the early show. There was a 7:30 and a 9:30 or a 9 o'clock or something like that. And I like the early shows because I can get home, like, around 10. I like to sleep early. Like, 10 is my bedtime. So that's perfect for me. But I just went to go to my friend's house. And I was really excited. And then it was just kind of weird. More of my friends were there than I thought. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And I guess I'm more of a small group person. I love hanging out in groups of 3 or less. For sure. That is my ideal. Because you just get a lot more intimate conversations. When you have more than that, the conversations will split up into multiple. And I like when everyone's attention's always in the same place. Unless you're just zoning out. That's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But, I like the intimacy of it. And I don't know. There's more people. And I'm at a weird age, too. Everyone's trying to grow up. And I just haven't seen my friends in a while. Just because I'm busy doing shit, right? I'm going to work, just trying to do I'm just starting up this comedy thing. But, like, you know, I like to do a bunch of other stuff in my free time. So I'm always busy, hanging out, doing this, doing that. And I'm like, oh, hey, these people I haven't seen in a while. I'm like, hey, what's up? And so the table's full. They're playing, like, backgammon or some shit. And first I walk up. I'm like, oh, let me be quiet so they don't notice me. So I just step up real quiet. And then they're in, like, a screen tent playing these games so they can stay away from the mosquitoes. Because fucking mosquitoes out here. They fucking blow, man. And they get worse every year. And they're more and more likely to carry Zika. So fuck them bitches. And they're going after me now. Let me relight this. Alright. So I get this weird, literally a minute. They don't notice me. I'm just standing there with this, like, stern face. And I'm flipping them off. Right? Because that's what you do. I'm just wait till they notice me. They'll just see me in the dark. Just like this creepy, shadowy figure flipping them off. Be like, oh, who's that? Oh, shit. Oh, lol. You know? But after about like a minute, I was like, okay, they're not going to notice. So I bail. But it gave me this really weird minute of just being really close to these group of people. Just not having them know I was there. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? And they're hanging out, they're playing games, they're talking, they're drinking, they're having a good time. And then I get in, then I just come in the tent, I'm like, hey, what up? And everyone's saying hi, whatnot. Once we settle in, I say hi. They go back to their game. I sit down at another chair on the other side at it's a picnic table. They were at a regular table with chairs around it that was full, and I sit down at the picnic table. I just start rolling up. That's what I do. So I'm here to smoke, and I don't know, man. I'm 25 now. I've been out of school for a while, and I'll make my own money and I buy my own weed, and that's how it should be for everyone. And I'm always down to smoke people up and whatnot. I literally give this shit away. like I've given my buddy that I saw on Friday weed before, and then on Friday, I just like gave him a couple nugs. I was like, yo, try this shit, cause like I've got multiple strains and you don't even know what you have, and you like to like smoke and get shit done. So have some of this sativa shit. I got some sour tangy. I gave him that. So I can try and be a little more productive, right? I just don't give a shit about this shit. So it wasn't that. But, like, if I'm at a gathering and I just start rolling up and everyone kind of just stops what they're doing, which is what happened, and then just waits and has this expectation that I'm rolling this for everyone without saying anything, like, I just didn't say anything and I started rolling up. Clearly, I didn't want to make this a point. That's my thing. So I was just going to smoke it, and if you want, I'll totally pass it around. And I offer it without you asking as well. But it wasn't even being asked. It was just this group expectation, and everyone was like following me, and they were like, okay, we gotta go out of the tent. And I was like, okay, we'll just go to the front porch. And it was like this whole movement and this whole thing that the group was working on, but it was my thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to smoke a joint real quick and keep this shit going. And it just like totally stopped the vibe. Like people, after that, it just like wasn't fun no more. And we stopped talking and playing games, and she's like, well, fuck this then. Like, I didn't roll this up to have everyone stop talking and make it boring. Like, I rolled this up so I could chill and smoke again. Because I just got back from my comedy show. I was feeling good. So that was just weird. I don't know what to take from it. They're just, I don't know. I feel like everyone's slowed down a lot with their smoking. And I have not. And I smoke with other people less, so I'm just always facing bats. I just always got the raw king size organics, and I'm always filling them up. Every time I gotta drive, we do it. And that's, people haven't seen me in a while, so they don't know that's my expectation, I guess. And it was just so weird. It's weird because it's coming from growing up too, but I'm not like trying to call nobody immature. That's kind of immature. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what to take of it. Oh hell, we hella long. We way over. I'm gonna cut there. We're totally done. I've ranted long enough. One last thing before we go. Today, I bought some seltzer at the grocery store. At work, I get these breaks, and I went to the grocery store. I got some yogurts and some seltzers. I packed the yogurts in the bag, and I left. I forgot my seltzer just at the counter where I checked out. I just ran off. And then as soon as I got back to work, I was like, fuck, I forgot my seltzer. It's only $6. I was like, shit, I gotta go back and get it. So I just turned around. I called them before I head out. Actually, I was like, "Yo, I forgot my seltzer." You're like, "Hello, I forgot my $6 seltzer at the counter. Did you guys happen to take that to the side?" And then so I just zip over and grab the seltzer and head back. But it was just so dumb. I was like, "Why do I care so much about $6?" But like, you have to. Like, why is it that $1,000 is not a lot of money? Like $1,000 ain't shit. Like if something happens with your house or your car, like, and you have $1,000, you're fucked. That's not a lot of money. $1,000 is just pocket change. That's how it should be used. And yet, $6, I get all freaked out and turn around and run back to the store, just basically do a return for $6. You got gas, your time, your money, your effort, but you gotta go get it, right? But $1,000 ain't shit, but $6 is so much money. That's fucked up. Anyways, all right. I'll catch up with you guys next week. Next week. I'm gonna sleep more, and we won't be as tired, and this will be a lot more focused and tight. So we'll hit the 15 minutes next week, guys. We got this. All right. Catch you later. Listen to your mom. Listen to your heart. Peace.